Yo, yo, yo. This is Stars with Magic, where we talk about the stars with magic. I'm Magic, and today we are discussing that Aries man. All right. Ooh, let's just give a second in that Aries man. Okay, that Aries man. Let's okay. Leave a comment, like the video, subscribe. And if you are, extremely interested, or if you would like a synastry report, or would like to know a little bit about that Aries man, look at the description of this video and you will find my email. You can book a birth chart reading or a synastry reading, and you can find out whether or not you are completely compatible, or you know what, to be honest with you, when it comes to compatibility, it's a whole other conversation. But if you're compatible with that Aries man, if you're interested in that Aries man, definitely, or if you just want to understand him better, email me. I'll leave my email in the description of the video where you can book a synastry reading. Also, I'm still working on the page for my astrology readings, the different types of things that I offer. Until that's complete and up, definitely just email me and we'll work something out. I'll let you know my pricing in terms of, birth chart readings or compatibility, aka synastry readings. But anyways, that Aries man, he's a very confident man. Okay, he's a very self-assured man. If anything, if this is the type of guy that will let you know from the very beginning that, whether or not he likes you. Okay, he's not the type to really beat around the bush. But he's also, I guess for lack of a better term, dichotomous. He's a little bit hard to figure out sometimes, only because he's so changeable. The Aries man is, let's start from the surface. He's very confident. If he's attracted to you, you will know, because more than likely he's going to be the one to make the first move. He's probably going to walk up to you, let you know. He's probably going to introduce himself. And this guy is very he's very popular. He's very confident. If there's anybody that catches his eye in terms of either friendship or romantically, he's going to be the one to make the first move. He's going to walk up to you and he's going to introduce himself. He's not the type of guy to really care what other people think. If he sees somebody that he either wants to be friends with or he thinks is attractive, he's going to introduce himself. And he's also, in turn, going to also appreciate so very much somebody who's also as bold or as confident as he is. Okay. He's not the most sensitive. I will say that. He is sensitive. Okay. Everybody's sensitive in a variety of ways. But this guy, his sensitivity lies in sometimes affirmation. He doesn't necessarily need a whole lot of it. He doesn't need somebody to tell him that he's attractive, tell him that he's, if anything, that might actually turn him off. Somebody who's actively trying to convince him, I like you, I want you. This guy doesn't need a whole lot of affirmation. Of course, I'm speaking probably focused on the romantic, because when it comes to astrology, a lot of us, we really look at people in terms of, how am I able to attract this man, or how am I able to connect with this person. He's a very he's a natural boss, very masculine, extremely self-assured. He's not that type of person that really needs a whole lot of, as I said, affirmation. He doesn't need people, he might have a bit of an ego. He might be a little bit egotistical. He's actually extremely cocky. This is the thing. He's extremely self-assured. He's the first of the first. Aries is essentially ruled by Mars. Not ruled by Mars, but they rule Mars. This is a very masculine sign. As I said, okay, so back to what I was saying. He's going to walk up to you. If he's attracted to you, he's going to walk up to you. First, of course, he's going to look at you physically. These men are extremely physical when it comes to romance, or even sometimes friendships. He's not inherently attracted to physically weak people. Even if he could be out of shape, he could be a smaller guy, he could be, it almost doesn't even matter his own physicality. He believes in himself. Self-assuredness is the core of Aries. Excuse all my sniffles. Hopefully it's not too distracting. But he's very confident. He's going to walk up to you first, more than likely, introduce himself. He may or may not tell you, hey, I am attracted to you. Or he might, say, hi, what's up? My name is X, Y, and Z. He might get your number. You have to look at the entirety of his birth chart. If you don't know anything about if for some way you can't have access to his, birthday, birth time, or not even his birth time, but like his birthday and his birth city, if you can't actually look up his chart, even if all you know is that he's an Aries, you will know that he is a very self-assured man. And if he's interested, he's going to make it known. It's not, there are some signs, gosh, I hope I'm not rambling. There are some sun sign men that you can't necessarily tell. You can't really tell if he's really attracted to you or not. But the Aries man, he's gonna make it known. He's not gonna play games. And it's not even necessarily that he's intentionally not playing games. It's just that he's inherently very direct. He's sorry, I like my sparkling ice. He's a very confident man. I mean, I don't even know how else to say it. I mean, there are a lot of guys out there, and they kind of struggle, at least with heterosexual men, and maybe even men of other persuasions, that struggle to let you know that they're interested. If you look at the entirety of his chart, even if he has Mars, Venus, Pisces, Taurus, or a lot of other subdued energies, a lot of other energies in his chart that are a lot more reserved, that Sun in Aries is an extremely strong energy, to the point where you're going to see him looking at you. He's very visual. Some men can really become attracted to different types of women and people, or whoever it is that he's attracted to, for a variety of reasons. But the Aries man is inherently visual. Aries rules the face and the body. And I mean, of course, you know, what else is there, you know, in terms of like physical attraction other than the face and the body? But it's the face first. But there's got to be body. If there's no body, then the Aries man is probably not gonna be attracted. The Aries man is changeable. He changes his mind a lot. You know, he might at first, you know, want a relationship. You know, when he first meets you, he might be like, oh yes, let's dive head first, you know, we're together, etc., etc. But then a couple days later, depending on how the relationship is going, he might lose interest. This man is very changeable. This is what is a little bit frustrating about the Aries man, is that he changes his mind a lot. He is kind of impulsive. Now, you have to look at the Mars sign in terms of his changeability. If he's interested in you, or if he thinks that you're attractive, he's going to approach you, he's going to want your number, he's going to want to connect with you. That's just given, right? But when it comes to actually committing to you or being in a relationship with you, you want to look at his Mars sign. Because if he has like a Mars in like a fire sign, which is Aries, Leo, Sag, something like that. If he has Mars in a fire sign, he might jump head first into a relationship with you. But if he has Mars in like a water, an earth sign, he's gonna be a little bit more methodical. He's definitely gonna connect with you. He's definitely gonna, you know, on some level let you know that he's interested, but he won't necessarily commit to you. And of course, you have to look at, you know, compatibility, synastry, to find out whether if there's like a lasting, you know, whenever or wherever there is Saturn concerning synastry, compatibility, that's probably the only time that you're ever going to really see this Aries man committing. The Aries man takes a very long time to commit. He has to grow up a lot. A lot of people say that, you know, Aries is the baby or whatever, or they're like the child of the zodiac, and I wouldn't say that. If anything, I would say that they are, of course, you know, the soldier. But the soldier is almost a little bit of a rake. He's a rake for sure. You know, he plays around a lot. He's a bit of a player. But the thing is, what's so awesome about the Aries man is that he's gonna tell you for sure, at least in my experience, he's gonna let you know, I really see something with us, or he's gonna say, I only want you for X, Y, and Z, or, you know, I like you, but I'm not ready to commit. You know what I mean? The Aries sun sign man, more than likely, he's gonna let you know exactly what it is that he wants or doesn't want. Now, relationships do not come easy to this man. He's not a relationship oriented type of guy. He doesn't like relationships. This is a very independent, very self-oriented type of guy. As I said, you know, it takes a lot for him to decide whether or not he actually wants to be in a long-term relationship. He has to mature a lot. You have to look at the rest of the chart. You know, with any sun sign, any type of sun sign placement that I ever mention, you have to look at the rest of the chart. That's just it. And then you also have to look at the synastry, because you know, I wouldn't say that necessarily everything is subjective, but you have to take everything into account. But with the sun sign man in Aries, relationships do not come naturally to him. He's very independent, very self-oriented. And until he's maybe in his 30s, maybe late 20s to 50s, you know, this man is not going to really feel the need for a monogamous long-term relationship. You know, of course, there's always the exception to the rule, but this man is he's just not relationship oriented. There's always going to be this aspect of me. I have my life outside of the relationship. He's always going to have his connections. And if he has a partner that is very jealous or controlling, or, you know, who are you talking to? Why are you talking to them? He's not going to sit for it. He's not going to go for it. That is just completely, it just kind of goes against his natural self. You know, you have to realize that Aries, especially with the sun sign here, it's extremely individualistic. The only other sign that I could say that kind of contends with him in this sense is maybe the Aquarius sun sign man. They're extremely individualistic, and they're very they hate being told what to do. So if you're interested in the Aries man, despite whatever it is that it says in his chart, you know, all of the other placements, the core of his individuality, the core of his soul, the foundation of his personality is probably always going to be me centered, referring to him. He doesn't like partners that question him too much, that tell him you can't do this, you can't do that. I'm not saying that it's impossible, but I'm saying that it just goes completely against, you know, who he is. That's not who he is. So he's really probably going to need a partner that even if, you know, they want to know who he's talking to, where he's going, etc., unless there are major signs that that there's some sort of infidelity or something like that, that there's going to be just this inherent freedom that he really, really needs. And he's not really going to play about it. So, I mean, I could make a part 2 about it. Maybe maybe the first part of this video I rambled too much, but I mean, the core of the Aries man is just that he's extremely independent, and he just doesn't like being told what to do. You really can't tell this man what to do. And he is very hot-headed. He's extremely masculine, very sexy, very physically raw. I probably should have started out with that, but hopefully you know you watched to this point. But he's very sexy. He's extremely confident, and I think a lot of people want that, you know, that refreshing confidence. His confidence is extremely refreshing. He doesn't question himself too much, which could be probably a little bit of a problem at some point or another. But yeah, with all that being said, you know, I like to keep my videos to around like, you know, 20 something videos. But if you would like a part 2, definitely leave a comment. Let me know. Maybe I'll make a part 2, or maybe you could just, you know, book a session. But with all that being said, you know, that Aries man, ooh, he is a force. Masculine. He is sexy. Despite whatever, you know, he has that confidence. So with all that being said, definitely, hopefully you will book a session with me. Everything is in the description of the video. Like the video, leave a comment, and I will talk to y'all soon. All right, peace.